Talk 1230 WFVA. Over the next hour, you'll be introduced to business and local leaders impacting our community. Text your comments or questions directly to the studio in real time via ZipWhip landline texting at 540-371-5756 or comment on Facebook at WFVA 1230. Now, the host of Town Talk, Ted Schubel.
The Warrior Research Foundation, our focus this morning, and we're going to be dealing with, as we go along this morning, for the majority of the morning, dealing with really the serious situation, the growing problem of veteran suicide. Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride are here. They have been here a number of times, and we're also going to have Jimmy Grimes in studio with us. We have talked to Jimmy a couple of times by phone, but before we get there, before we get to all of that, Summer and Sheila have brought from the University of Mary Washington some interns that they have. And Summer, I'll start off with you to let you introduce who you have. And I know this group has gotten really involved in the work, the good work that Warrior Research Foundation does.
Absolutely. They have been an integral part of helping us and supporting us in our effort to raise awareness regarding veteran suicide. I'm going to take a moment here and allow them to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Alexander Rios. I'm a junior theater major at the university.
Hi, I'm Jada. I'm a senior English major.
Hi, I'm Janelle Pierangelino, and I'm a creative writing major and a communication and digital studies major.
Well, welcome to. It's good to have you guys here. How did you get involved with Warrior Research Foundation? And this is really a heavy topic. A lot of times, a lot of people shy away from stuff like this. You guys haven't.
Definitely. I think, at least me personally, I'm really into film, and I've been doing video work for a few years now, and I see myself doing it maybe as a career one day.
Yeah.
And when I got an email from the school that there was a film internship, interviews being offered, I said, why not? Because that's up my alley. And then once I found out it was for a really, noble cause, that it was even better. So that's what really drew me towards it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found out from UMW when we went to a job fair, and they were one of the first places I talked to, and they made me feel really comfortable when I went to their booth, and it was something I really wanted to be a part of, was a documentary project that we'll be doing, and it just seems like it's a really great cause to be a part of. If I can help in any way, then that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, also Summer and Sheila are some of the warmest, kindest people that there are probably to work for. So. Oh,
aren't they? They are. They're so easy to work with.
Yeah.
We pay them well to say that.
No, and we've had an amazing time working with all three of these students. They have helped us produce a new video. You might want to talk a little bit about that, Alexander.
Okay. So our latest video that we created for Warrior Research Foundation is basically this new Operation hashtag 22 to 0 campaign. And basically it revolves around, I think many people know of the 22 day, where we know that there's 22 veteran suicides a day. That's a big number. And I know there's the push-up challenge. So we wanted to create something new and basically challenge other people to make videos that encompass this idea of 22 to 0, which means we want that 22 number to be 0. Mm-hmm. Because, 22 is a pretty high number if you think about it every single day, and it would be amazing if it was 0. And if you go on our Facebook page, on our YouTube, you can check it out. But we used a lot of University of Mary Washington people and veterans that came out, and we did this video creating a big 22 through candles, and then from the air with a drone, and then made a big 0 around it. And it's kind of hard to explain through talking, so you have to kind of go see it, but it was really cool.
It's a fabulous video, and it really is impacting. And it has absolutely no words, yet it creates a lot of emotion and really tells, brings about the issue and the criticalness of the issue. And with that said, we had a lot of veterans groups there who were helping us and supporting us through making this video, which was terrific. And it was actually done at the University of Mary Washington. So we had a lot of support from, the folks at the university, our interns, our veterans groups. And really what we'd like to also do is challenge other universities to make their own 22 to 0 videos, hashtag 22 to 0, and send it to us at info@warriorresearch.org. And we'd like to post your video. So that's kind of a challenge that we're sending out to other schools, VCU, Berkeley, Harvard, any of those schools. We'd like you to send us your video and be as creative as you'd like or as simple as you'd like. But let's get the word out.
Well, and in getting students involved, especially in the video kind of thing and using drones.
Right.
I know I'm always using my son who's in college as a kind of give me ideas for different things.
Right.
This is a nice. This gets them involved and also you get some creativity.
And the other thing that we're looking at here too is bridging the gap between our millennials and our veterans, and bringing an awareness to our millennials about that. Yes, we have veterans, but what do they do? What is their importance? And really enlightening. So it's really nice that we have, Alexander, Janelle, and Jada to be able to help us with that effort. Janelle, did you want to say anything or add to?
Oh, I can. Yeah, it's really interesting that we're talking about this too, just because ever since I became a part of this organization, I actually talked to someone I didn't really know that well when I went back at home, and he's a veteran himself. And then we were just talking for like hours about any random type of thing. And then I brought up Warrior Research Foundation and Set Condition Red. And he was really touched by that. And it kind of struck me just because he was really surprised that I guess people in our generation were really interested in helping veterans. And that was something I really wanted to have him feel, was that we do care and we want to help out any way that we can. So.
I think that they said it best.
I was going to say actually one thing. I think something really cool that I saw, and it was kind of what you're talking about, was the response we got from people, not even veterans. I mean, obviously veterans, but from like our peers and even like our age, and how they responded to it, how impactful the video was, and it was so simple. It's only a minute long, but yet it created this profound impact on them. So I think it's really cool.
Well, what's great having you guys involved in this. You'll tell others, just like when you were talking about going and talking to a veteran, you'll now take this to your peers or even other people in your own communities.
Yeah, and I think it's very important in what Summer was saying about bridging that gap, because a lot of times it seems like veterans, they come back from being deployed and it's hard to like reintegrate in society, especially in a collegiate setting. Like they want to go back to school, but they're probably older than everyone else. And one of our big symbolic things with this video was during the drone shot, that big zero that's created was basically students and the community around the veterans, and the 22 in the center was veterans. So it's symbolic in the sense that we're here for you. We're here like open arms. So.
And I have to say, when you watch that video, and please do go out and watch that video, go on to Warrior Research Foundation site, go to our YouTube page, go to our Facebook page, and it's there. But I wanted to mention that Alexander Rios, he piloted the drone. And as he piloted that drone, he also coordinated the folks in the circle in the 22, and he did a fabulous job. And in regards to pre-production, Janelle and Jada helped tremendously, and they also were out there helping. So having our veterans see these young folks out there helping and supporting them is just so enriching, and so it means so much to them as well. So
absolutely. And there were so many people there that had actually lost someone recently, a veteran that had committed suicide from the Stafford area. So it was so impactful for them to be able to be a part of the ceremony and to be a part of a video that's going to last.
Right. And there were a lot of hugs. There was a lot of support. There was a lot of exchanges of, this is what happened and this is how it impacted me, and, in regards to veteran suicide. And again, if we can bring that number down to zero with the help of our community, please get in touch with Warrior Research Foundation. Go to our Facebook site, go to our website, and reach out to us and let us know how you might want to help us, or, that would be great.
And the video again is called?
It's called hashtag 22 to 0.
It's actually Operation.
Operation 22
Right.
to 0.
Zero.
Right.
And if you do a search, you'll
Yeah,
find
you'll
it.
find it.
Right.
Kudos, and it's great to see you guys involved, because so often you're in college and you just are oblivious to the outside world. You get out of college, or you go home and people talk about things and you're like, oh, I've been immersed in college. You guys aren't doing that.
Doing a lot of things, you know.
Right, yeah.
They are so involved in their community, and I'm so impressed with these kids and young folks, not kids, but these young adults. And sorry,
Kids.
And,
I think I'm a kid still.
These young adults, and they reached out to us. So when we were at the career fair, we got so many people that were actually these young adults that were so willing to help, and I think that's so refreshing. So thank you, one, for being here, and thank you for helping and supporting our veterans.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good stuff. Thank you all for getting up early and coming in this morning. WarriorResearchFoundation.org. Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride, Jimmy and Matt also here. We're going to meet them when we come back, and we thank you, the Mary Washington students, for coming again this morning. More on Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. Got an opinion about today's show? Text the studio now at 540-371-5756. Now, here's the host of Town Talk, Ted Schubel.
Warrior Research Foundation, our focus this morning. WarriorResearchFoundation.org is the website. There's also a Facebook page, and there's a number of Facebook pages about a number of the things that we're going to be talking about this morning. Summer Watson and Sheila Kirkbride are here. Jimmy Grimes is with us. Jimmy, we talked to you a couple of times over the phone. If I remember right, you're a police officer in New Mexico.
I am.
So it's good to meet you in person. We've talked to you by phone a number of times, and we welcome to the program Matt Burkhouse. Matt, good to have you here for the first time.
Thank you for having me.
And you're involved with an effort that we're going to talk about, Set Condition Red, and we're going to do that in just a second. Summer and Sheila, the word keeps getting out. I was about a year ago, right around this time, that we first met and talked about it. And just the other day, I was talking to somebody, and the whole thing about the topic that you've always come in and talked about, veteran suicide. It's more and more people are talking about it and realizing what a problem it is.
And I think that we need to talk about or address that it's not just an issue, but it's something that we have to put action to. So we want to bring awareness to it, but then we also want to make a difference by creating programs that are effective. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that we create veteran peer network programs. And that kind of segues into what we want to talk about with Matt Burkhouse and Jimmy Grimes today. So maybe I'll let them kind of elaborate on the veteran peer groups and the support.
Well, Jimmy, since you're the veteran here, as far as is being on, I can remember the first time we talked to you, and we were on the air when you mentioned. I remember you mentioning to Sheila in summer that the night previous that you'd lost somebody again, or somebody that you knew, and it really hit them hard. And unfortunately, that's what we're hearing. I guess you hear more and more of this.
And it has been just an alarming situation for veterans that have recently been separated or been separated for years at a time, that they're hearing their friends and their brothers actually losing their lives to just kind of unfortunate events of what's going on inside them. But getting connected with Sheila and Summer has really helped me, and it's helped a lot of people actually work through those times, and it's helping us work towards something that is going to provide a safe haven for others. So as we're talking about the action, is we're looking to build these programs, these little cells, if you will, for veteran peer-to-peer mentorship. So we're trying to reach out to one another, even though veterans seem to have kind of a macho attitude about needing help. We're trying to break that wall down by using another veteran to reach out to them and build a friendship again, even though they feel that they're alone. And Matt's been doing a really great job using Set Condition Red through his experiences, his time in the Marine Corps, as well as his time in a personal setting, to reach out to a vast number of people through Facebook, social media. So that's our plan. That's why we're here today.
Matt, talk about Set Condition Red. What is it?
Okay, so Set Condition Red, some things had happened, and I didn't know I wanted to, connect. Like, how do we bridge that gap? How do you lose somebody like directly in the job that you're doing, someone that you knew for a long time? It's very impactful, and I didn't know what to do. And the only thing other than, going to work and back and forth, the only way I can connect with people is Facebook. Just because, throughout the Marine Corps, it's just so widespread, you get change of duty station and stuff. So I just, created a little group called Second Condition Red, which, in my job, it's pretty much a call sign to get an all hands, staff response to a location where someone's in trouble, to preserve life. So I was like, well, I know this, so I'll use this motto. And I was thinking that I might get 50, 100 people from, my job to be about it. And then it exploded. We had, I think the first week had 1,000 members to the group, and they were, talking, sharing, reaching out to people. And it kind of took me off guard because I had no idea what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to help. I just didn't know how it was all going to work.
Yeah.
So, over time, it kind of developed into a responsive communication area for veterans that, they're in need, they say something. And then, we have a team of admin people that, actually reach out to them and start, try to get information, be able to contact them to, try to help them out, see who we have in that area as other veterans-wise that they can meet up with and people they can talk to. And it's just kind of grown from there. I think this morning we're at, 6.5 thousand members, and we're going strong. We're still trying to reach out to everybody and talk to them, and that's pretty much what Second Condition Red is.
Well,
sorry.
And Set Condition Red is a Facebook page. So you can find Set Condition Red, and it's for military veterans who are active, separated, retired. It's for first responders, and it's for their family members.
Right.
And there's been an amazing response to that because veterans want to speak to other veterans, and they feel supported. And so since its inception in December of 2016, it has grown to 6.5.
Yeah.
Thousand followers.
And it's pretty diverse. I mean, we have Marine veterans, Army veterans. We have all the branches of service, but we also we have widowed spouses that are part of the group that are actively admin members, a part of the group, trying to help and trying to reach out. So we got parents of veterans. We have it's insane. To me, it blows my mind how many people are out there, and like the admin team I got, they're so diverse and so all over the United States. It's just amazing.
I think that's one of the caveats that we need to take from this is that our operation 22-0, those are 22 men and women that are gone, but we're not thinking about the family members, we're not thinking about the friends, and those people need some support as well. And Second Condition Red provides a forum for them to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them that opportunity to connect. Mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, these people need to be heard. They need to be consoled, and that's a great opportunity for them to reach out and have a community kind of support them and pick them up in situations like that.
And it really breaks the isolation too. It was a couple weekends ago we were talking with the Blue Star Mothers, and I think what Matt had said was so profound in the fact that they're isolated and they're alone, and you're so used to thinking about your brothers when you're in combat that you don't think about yourselves, and especially with this large community in Set Condition Red, that you actually have other people that are taking care of you and have your back, and you can all take care of each other, and it's so important.
Yeah, and that kind of came around. I was talking to a lady, and she, we were talking back and forth about, why is this an issue? Why is it a problem? Or whatever. And me, like, I mean, I never know what to say. I'm not, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not well, researched and everything. I just knew how it affected me, and I acted on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of came down to it, and she said, so pretty much you're saying that, y'all just don't have personal responsibility. And I'm like, at first I'm mad. I'm like, what did you say? So, but then, I thought about it, and realistically, she's right. Personal responsibility is not a thing that I think about. I don't think about me. I think about my guys.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. You're always looking out for someone else. You're never worried about yourself because they come first. And I think that's a big disconnect that, even the the interns and stuff, like they have personal responsibilities. They get up, you go to stuff, But like for me, like unless I know for a fact that someone's going to scream at me, then it's not. I just like if I'm not getting in trouble, then I'm gonna keep doing it. So it's not you're always thinking about everyone else. You're like, oh well, I got to be here because I'm this guy better be here.
Yeah.
So it's more about you look out for your guys and you don't really think about yourself because they always come first. Making sure that they make it home is what matters.
Right. And so the point being is, who is looking out for you when you're looking out for others?
Yeah.
And
I
when
get off
that
topic.
other guy is looking out for his troop, who's looking out for him? And I think that, however, that is said, you do always have somebody. And I think that that is forgotten because somebody is always watching after you. Somebody wants to make sure. But I think that Set Condition Red, Warrior Research, through these veteran peer groups, we're trying to reach out and reconnect these veterans so that they feel not isolated, not disconnected. And Set Condition Red is really a easy forum for people to utilize to reach out to each other. I mean, we've seen things on Set Condition Red where somebody has made a post and just said goodbye.
Wow.
And that gets us scrambling. So we've got some amazing administrators who behind the scenes are like, okay, now we need to see if we can follow up with a health and welfare check on that person and try and get an address and try and, just to make sure people are okay. And we save lives.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We need to take a break. We'll come back. We're going to continue talking about this, about Set Condition Red and the Warrior Research Foundation. WarriorResearchFoundation.org. Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride here, along with Jimmy Grimes and Matt Burkhouse. More on Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. It's 8:30.
I had the radio on. I'm listening to
Talk done right. News Talk 1230 WFVA Fredericksburg, a Centennial Broadcasting station. Welcome back to Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. You can weigh in on today's Town Talk topic on Facebook at WFVA 1230. Now, your host, Ted Schubel.
Warrior Research Foundation, our focus this morning, warriorresearchfoundation.org to get information on that. We've been talking about Set Condition Red. There's a Facebook page, and that's what we're focusing a lot this morning. Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride here. Jimmy Grimes is here, and Matt Burkhouse. Matt Burkhouse is the person behind the Set Condition Red Facebook page. Not being a military person, Matt, what's the story behind Set Condition Red, the name?
So Set Condition Red is in the job I have in the Marine Corps. Set Condition Red is a term you call over radio. So when you set Condition Red, it means that someone's in danger, life-threatening danger. And what that does, it immediately gets an all-hands staff response to that location, preserve life. So, if someone says Set Condition Red, you're getting, how many ever people are available at that time showing up to your location to make sure you're okay. And it kind of corresponds with what the actual Facebook page does.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone on there says, "Hey, I need help," or is anyone available to talk? That's a Set Condition Red right there, and it gets everyone that's on there that's available that sees it. It's an all hands response. Everyone's trying to talk to you, and we've overloaded people's phones before a couple times, and like you always get every now and then you get some back feed from it, like a day later, like, hey, just trying to go through and thank everybody that contacted me, and you're the one. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you. And it's a good feeling when someone's like, hey, sorry I had so many people talking to me. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to go through and rush through it. And that's a big thing, because that lets that person know that, hey, they said one thing or they were feeling one way. Somebody mentioned something or something like that, and they get so many people, like people that don't even know but share, kind of the same background or lifestyle or instances in their life that are responding, trying to get a hold of them, like, hey, what's going on? Talk to me. So
that's interesting. I figured the name had some kind of meaning to where someone in the military, someone who's got these feelings, they're going to see that and know immediately what that means.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, for a lot of the, I think if you say Set Condition Red, pretty much across the board, it's an identifier, especially if you're in the military. So you're like, that means I should be doing something important right now. So.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's what we're dealing with now, Jimmy. When we talked for the first time last year, I just have always in our phone conversations gone away with it, and just the hurt and the ache in your voice, just because you've lost. I know you've talked about you've just lost too many people that you knew to just feeling just feel helpless and hopeless.
Yeah, and from a perspective of just a brother looking to your family, your friends, and watching your family members just kind of dwindle away in the numbers, it takes a toll on you. And what Summer and Sheila did was really kind of help spark up that livelihood for a couple of friends of mine that were in the military together, and just connecting us and giving us an opportunity to remember, giving us an opportunity to reach out and kind of just share our own stories. It gave me at least kind of a revitalization of it's not as dark as we think it is, or I don't have anyone there's not any support for me. So since those conversations, Ted, I really have tried myself to reach out to other people just in my community. And being in the law enforcement community, it parallels, or it's very similar to the military. There's a lot of military veterans that are in my department, and I do my best to try and connect with each one of them in my own personal way. I've had trouble trying to build like a program or just like an event, but I've been more successful with one-on-one interactions. Going out to the shooting range, going out on a hike, going for a run, sitting down and having a beer. I mean, something as simple as that. You can really touch people, and you can build those bridges. A lot of people think that Marines don't get along with the other branches, and that's asinine. That's not true at all. I mean, some of my great friends at the PD are, Army. I mean, it's okay, but they no, they are. There's some great people out there, and we share the main thing is that we care about each other. We care about one another's life and our families. So that's what's something I think Warrior Research Foundation loves so much about Second Edition Red is Second Edition Red is focused on the preservation of life. We love people, and that's what we care about, and we want them to continue. 22 is a large number. Getting it down to 21, obviously it would be even just a great feat. And to 0 is our goal, and then we're not going to stop until we get to that number. Yeah.
We could go on all morning talking about why this has happened, but are there any main reasons? Well, I mean, the thing that comes to my mind is you hear so much about how there are just so many more deployments than there used to be. You go over and it's just intense. You come back and a lot of people are going right back. But are there some main reasons why those numbers are so high?
I'll kind of tread carefully. I feel, in my personal opinion, the people that are coming back, just veterans that are leaving the service in hopes to find something greater or in something similar to what they had. And you don't realize when you live with people really every day of your life for 4 years, you don't realize how connected you are to those people. And once you lose that connection, it can be devastating. I mean, I would kind of compare it to like when children fly the coop and go to college. So parents you don't have that connection. You don't have the everyday living with someone, so you don't get to see what they're doing or hear what they're doing, and you probably feel a little bit isolated in that sense. And I think that's really the main contribution to this is the isolation, and that's why these peer-to-peer groups, these individuals that are reaching out, these Facebooks, Snapchat, any type of social media that's reaching out to others and building a bond is so important.
And I think also you've talked about purpose. Sometimes, especially when you come back, veterans feel like they've not lost the purpose, but maybe it's shifted and it's harder to kind of find who they are and what they're doing. And they understood what the purpose was over there. But then when you come back, you know, it's hard to sometimes know where to start first and where to go. And having veterans themselves to support each other and really talk about how do we help, I think that gives a purpose in itself to be able to help others.
And can I want to also say that there are several programs out there that are helpful. And what we've tried to do at Warrior Research Foundation is really talk to our veterans and really find out from them specifically what's going to help them. Is it A, B, and C, or is it what's already being done? And we're trying to actually hear what they're saying and not just assume, because we can make assumptions, but if we make assumptions and those programs aren't effective, you know, how can we better help them and be of better support? You know, one of the things you asked, Ted, is what are contributing factors to these issues? And what Jimmy just said is we're disconnected. We're starting to feel disconnected, and we spend 24/7 with these people, and they're our brothers, they're our sisters, they're our family. And it's like no other relationship I could imagine. You're going to war, you're in a barracks, you're with them day in and day out. When you then transition out of the military, you feel kind of alone. You feel kind of isolated. And so that's why we're coming back to, let's get these veterans together. They transition so often from place to place to place, even when they're in the military, that they may have made a good friend, let's say at Camp Pendleton, and then all of a sudden they get transferred up to Quantico. I can speak from experience. My husband was like, okay, those set of friends, I got work to do. They're there. I don't really talk to them anymore. So then once you get out and you've disconnected because you've transitioned, where do you go? Where do you find help? Where do you find the support that you need? Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reconnect veterans so they don't feel so isolated, that they're having an easier time transitioning because they are feeling connected, because they have groups like Set Condition Red, like veteran to peer-to-peer groups that we're trying to create, not just here in Virginia, but across the nation. So please feel free to reach out to us so that we can help create those different veteran peer-to-peer networks, or, you know, mentor you to create a network so that you can help somebody in your community. Because veterans, when we talk to veterans, say what's best for us is if we can talk to other veterans. Yeah. That's what's helpful. A lot of times, you know, what I also want to mention here is veterans they're not broken. They're not damaged. They're, you know, let's get away from that talk. What's happening is there's somebody else with a different set of factors that they're exposed to. And at this point, we need to look at those factors and say, how can we help you? And one of those major factors is they're disconnected. They lack purpose in that they were so connected and they had a mission. When they get out, maybe they've lost what that mission is. So
I just want to say thank you for that, because that's a really big part that me and my group, you know, we've tried to overcome, is feeling that broken. And, you know, I think anyone that's suffered or had any type of traumatic issue or, you know, incident in their life, they feel broken, and I don't think that's the way we should label ourselves. So thank you for saying that we're not.
And they're not broken, and I think that's the self-talk that is hard to get away from when community is saying, well, they've got so many issues, and what's you know, well, we all have issues, but we need to identify the factors that are going to best help these folks. But they're not broken. They can function just fine as long as they get the support that they need. So let's figure out what that is. And I think one of those major issues is these veteran peer-to-peer support groups. You know, because again, I don't care what genre a veteran I speak to. They always say, I don't care if you're in the in the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, whatever branch of service you're in, we have organically a connection because we were in the service.
Yeah, I mean, Matt and I, we've talked 2-3 times on the phone.
Yeah, I think so.
FaceTime once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
that was a special moment.
But
It was.
And you know,
But there's a
we don't-
connection.
Yeah, there's a connection. I'm from California. Matt's from West Virginia. I have no idea what it's like to live.
You better
in West
say that with a smile too.
And here we are. I mean, yes, we did serve in the same branch together, but we're two different people.
Yeah.
But we have the same focus, we have the same drive, and we want the same things for the rest of our, fellow man.
And veterans.
And especially the relationships, and I can only speak being a military spouse, but the relationships that you develop when they're in the military, or you're with a military spouse is probably some of the best relationships that I've ever had, and the closeness and the caring. That's what we find, especially as we work with veterans over and over, just the level of caring and willing to do anything for anyone else. And I think that's what makes the community so special, and what's going to make Set Condition Red and the peer-to-peer programs as they grow is just the level of caring for each other and how much they really want to make a difference. And that's so evident, especially with Matt and with Jimmy.
It's definitely a different bond. I mean, you can't describe it. I mean, if you lose a family member, that's rough. But sometimes, like, especially for military folks, or whatever, like, you don't see your family that often, but the bond you have with, your fellow service members and stuff, it's a lot deeper, just because, like, no matter where you are, if you have someone else that's, served with you, that's, there, like, that they're gonna catch you if you start to slip and fall.
Right. And that's a good point, Matt, is that Set Condition Red is so important because it serves as a safety net for our veterans. And they're catching each other. They're catching each other by using that Facebook medium. They're using that and saying, I'm not feeling good today. Who's out there who can talk to me? I mean, they're saying things like this, and they're coming out and saying, hey, I need somebody today. When do you really hear that in person? And if they can do that by using that medium or that Facebook page, perfect.
Yeah, no, what a great use of social media.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're using social media, and we hear so many things when it's not used well.
Yeah.
Boy, this is one where you can say this is what it was created for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I mean, we got members in Set Condition Red that's all over the world. Like, Japan, Germany, Istanbul, Turkey. Like, they're everywhere. So no matter what, like, if you wake up at 2 a.m. here on the East Coast and, something ain't right and you want to talk to somebody, like, it's there. So, just check it out. See,
It's called Set Condition Red. It's a Facebook page, also warriorresearchfoundation.org. We need to take a break. We'll wrap this up when we come back with Jimmy Grimes, Matt Burkhouse, Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride on Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA.
You're listening to Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. Got an opinion about today's show? Text the studio now at 540-371-5756. Now, here's the host of Town Talk, Ted Schubel.
Warrior Research Foundation, our focus this morning, and Set Condition Red. That is the website created, or the Facebook page. Matt Burkhouse here talking about that. Jimmy Grimes also here. He is a veteran involved in these issues. And Sheila Kirkbride and Summer Watson from a Warrior Research Foundation here. Boy, Sheila and Summer, you've been in a number of times, but this is what a great program and what a great show this has been this morning, because like you say, it's not, we haven't just sat around and these are the numbers, this is this is terrible, but there's really some hope out there. There's really some programs and some helps.
Well, there's definitely some hope out there, and like Summer said earlier, it isn't enough to just really identify what's going on. How do we make a difference? And we feel really good about Operation #22-0 and just raising awareness about suicide, and then following up with the peer-to-peer groups with Set Condition Red, with the different ways that we're actually helping veterans connect with each other, and hope to continue to connect as we move forward and build other programs, as Jimmy said, in New Mexico and other locations around the country where they can really connect, and not feel isolated or alone.
Right. And we want to make sure that, whomever is listening at this time, reach out to us if, in fact, you want to create a veteran peer network group, so we can, connect you with one of our veterans who can help mentor you through that process of, creating one of those groups, number one. Number two, also, please reach out and go look at our video, our newest video, Operation #22-0, because it's done by one of our interns from University of Mary Washington, where we are trying to bridge the gap between our young folks, our young college students, and our veterans. So they're making a difference as well. Our young folks out there want to make a difference. And I think the third thing is, go to Set Condition Red. If you need some support, Set Condition Red is a great forum for that.
Boy, Matt Burkhouse behind Set Condition Red. Boy, thank you for your involvement with that, seeing the issue, setting that up. You can just see it as time goes on. It's only going to get bigger.
Thank you, but I mean it's not me. There's 6,500 members out there that are Set Condition Red. So I came up with the idea. They're the ones out there keeping life.
And Jimmy, it's great to meet you. The next time you're from New Mexico, so that's not like it's just around the corner. But the next time you come back to Virginia, you got to come back again and talk more on this. And I'm sure we'll talk over the phone again sometime. This is something I guess like Sheila and Summer have said. Stay on top of it, and if you know family members or a friend or somebody that if you see a need out there, try to get them information.
Absolutely. And Ted, thank you for having me in person. It really is something that you just have to take the action. And Summer said it earlier that it's not just about documenting or counting. This is about taking the action and doing something with what we have. We know we have a problem. We know that there's a lot of people hurting, and now it's time for us to start moving towards a solution. And no solution is a wrong solution as long as we're moving forward.
Well, it'll be fun to do a show sometime when we start talking, and that number's not 22, and it's moving down, and we can move that way. WarriorResearchFoundation.org is the website. WarriorResearchFoundation.org. Set Condition Red is the Facebook page. And like it and pass that on what you can. And also, if you want to send an email and get in touch with Summer or Sheila with Warrior Research, it's info@warriorresearch.org. Thank you all for coming. Summer Watson, Sheila Kirkbride, Jimmy Grimes, and Matt Burkhouse. Thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you for having us.
That's it for Town Talk.
Thanks for listening to Town Talk on News Talk 1230 WFVA. The views expressed by the host and guests on this program are their own and not necessarily those of this station, its management, or Centennial Broadcasting. The Glenn Beck program is next on News Talk 1230 WFVA.